Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the CSTV. I'm your host, Kathleen Egaltoto, Madam CS, and this is The Striker. Stay tuned and have it true and true. The Striker, today we are going to look at the 2027 presidential candidate ticket that can actually defeat President William Samoei Ruto at the ballot. It is a fact that, number one, it is not easy to defeat President William Samoei Ruto at the ballot in 2027 if the current politicians and any other upcoming politicians are not going to realign themselves well. Number two, it is a fact that Kithure Kindiki is now the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, the third one in that particular matter as since we promulgated our 2010 constitution. It's also a fact that Rigathi is no longer the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. He's gone home and is not likely to hold any public office in the next 10 years. And therefore, any serious person who wants to defeat President William Samoei Ruto at the ballot in 2027, they need serious calculations, serious alignment and serious thinking. But before we dive into that, kindly, if you are new to this particular channel, welcome home, karibu nyumbani. Kindly remember to subscribe, like, share, and comment on this particular video. More importantly, turn on the notification bell so that the next time we are uploading a video, YouTube will automatically notify you. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your support. Kindly remember to leave a comment, like and share this particular video. Now, the 2027 politics actually are embedded on so many things, will be based on so many things that are happening now. And there are several factors that cannot be assumed in the 2027 general elections, if at all we are going to have elections at that particular time. And you realize that the current impeachment of the President of the Republic of Kenya, Rigathi, the former now, it's going to be a factor for some people in terms of voting for a candidate in 2027. We are also not going to actually forget the Uhuru factor and his influence in the mountain, especially after what has happened. He had warned the people of the mountain about President Ruto. They did not listen to him, and now we have had Rigathi gachagua from the western part of the mountain actually being impeached, and life has moved like nothing has happened. That's another factor that we should not be able to assume in 2027. We should also not assume the Gen Z factor in the 2027 general elections. These are the people who have actually risen with a lot of rage and disappointment on the Kenya Kwanza government. And this rage is likely to be reflected at the ballot. And therefore, even when we look at the presidential ticket that is likely to send William Samoei Ruto, the current president of the Republic of Kenya, home in 2027, this ticket has to put in all these considerations, and it must be calculated so well. Now, when you look at the current situation in the country, and I'm talking about the politicians that we have in this particular country, you realize that we do not have somebody very serious from the mountain who can actually stand for the position of the presidency and gain popularity and garner votes across Kenya. That's point number one. And that's one thing that actually President Ruto succeeded in putting the mountain in that particular rock, or in that particular corner. Number two, when we look at Kalonzo Musyoka, he has always had the Kamba votes and the Kamba support, but he's never been serious in terms of his political stand to fight for the position of the presidency. In 2013, he told Kenyans he was not going to support Raila Amolo Odinga. 2 days later, he announced that he had joined CORD. In 2017 again, he supported Raila Amolo Odinga and dropped his ambitions actually to fight. He became part of NASA. In 2022, he did the same mistake, put aside his ambitions of becoming a president end decided to support Baba. And all these years, Baba has been betraying them and leaving them in the cold, only to serve his back during the electioneering period and tell them, now I'm very serious, let's pump this ticket, etc. So when you look at Kalonzo Musyoka, in as much as he's fairly popular in Kenya, in terms of standing, that, power to stand and say, I want this and maintain it, it's very difficult. And because of that, very few people trust Kalonzo Musyoka in terms of his presidential candidature. Now, there are rumors about Fred Matiang'i Okengo, the former Minister of Education and the Minister of Interior under Ruto regime. As currently you are talking, rumor has it that Fred Matiang'i is not in the country. But other sources indicate he is strategizing for the 2027 presidential candidature. Now, this is where now our ticket starts. If the people who are in opposition right now organize themselves well, they can be able to beat William Samoei Ruto very early in the morning at the parrot this way. Fred Matiang'i garnered a lot of popularity among Kenyans. The way he transformed education, the way he operated when he was at the Ministry of Interior. He proved himself to be a worker and a no-nonsense person. And Fred Okengo Matiang'i had the support of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. They worked with him, And in the previous regime, we even saw him like he was supporting the Azimio coalition. Now, if the truth is that Fred Okengo Matiang'i actually is strategizing to fight for the presidency in this country, then the opposition in this particular country could come together and rally behind Kalonzo Musyoka and Fred Okengo Matiang'i. And this is how they are going to send Ruto home. Why am I saying this? When you look at the Fred Matiang'i factor, if he said he's going to fight, he brings the force of the entire Gusii nation. And we know Gusiis, how they can rally behind one of their own. So he brings the force of the entire Gusii nation. And then Kalonzo Musyoka will bring force of the entire Kamba nation. If they have the blessings, and I'm saying if they have the blessings and the support of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, they are assured now of the force from the mountain. And why I'm saying that they would be assured of the force from the mountain is that now that the Kikuyus have realized that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was not lying to them in 2002, they are likely actually now to listen and support whoever Uhuru will support. And then they bring the Eugene Wamalwa and the Natembeya factor from Western Kenya. In that way, they will have some section of Western Kenya joining here in terms of votes. And with the current rumors and the shaky relationship between Moses Masika Wetangula, if they are and the president, if this opposition is able to bring Moses Masika Wetangula into their camp, then they are assured of the entire votes from Bungoma County. And you know Bungoma County, how it votes. So in that particular case, then these others that are remaining, you will realize like they will be, just to few additions here and there. And I'm saying this because people will be talking about that Ruto now is assured of the Ruo Nyanza forts, but we forget one thing. It's assured of the Ruo Nyanza forts, but it's not assured of the forts from the western side of the mountain. It's not assured of the forts from Ukambani. It's not assured of all forts from the Western Kenya region because Madifidi normally doesn't bring much on the table, and it's not assured of the forts from the Gusii region and some parts of the coastal part of Kenya. And you realize that the support of the Luo people on Ruto's presidency in 2027 is not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee, and this is something that I will do in a different video. It's not a guarantee because this support is based on whether one, Raila Omolo Odinga will win the AU chairmanship. Number two, just know that there are some people who already feels that by joining Ruto, Raila Omolo Odinga has betrayed them. So while they were royal fans of Papa, now that Papa has betrayed them, they don't know whether to support the government or who to support. And if the opposition utilizes that opportunity so nicely, they can be able to lure these people to their camp. And at the same time, you realize that the Gen Z factor, Baba has been a letdown to the Gen Z in this particular country. You know, when the Gen Z went into the streets, they were saying, Baba, stay at home, we're here to fight for you. And then all of a sudden, Baba decides to join the government. So the Gen Z, as they're going to vote in 2027, they will not do anything in support of Raila Omolo Odinga. And therefore, you see, this Gen Z is still trying to see who are we going to support. Is it, you know, people are saying if Murara lands, you know, we want new blood, you know, others during the Gen Z, they were even talking about Matang, etc. So if they have a Matang factor and there's the opposition has aligned itself around the people that I have told in Nyatambea, Kalonzo, Eugene, Rigathi, Uhuru, you know, they can be able actually to add votes to that particular basket. So if we say politics is a game of numbers, then the opposition has a chance to realign itself and the who people to get those particular numbers. So right now, actually, if Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta had has been thinking of supporting Fred Okengo Matiang'i, 10, because in 2022 they told us that he wanted to support Fred Matiang'i for presidency, but they decided to support Papa. Now, Papa has betrayed them. Now, if in 2027 they still have that particular decision, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta only needs to reunite Rigathi and Kalonzo Musyoka, and then reunite Kalonzo Musyoka with Fred Okengo Matiang'i. Make sure that he has the Natembeya factor in this camp. He has the Eugene Wamalwa factor in this particular camp. Talk to Moses Mashika Wetangula nicely and bring him to the camp, and then come up with a motto that is appealing and it is touching the hearts and the, you know, and everything about the Gen Z. That ticket, tell me why it will not send Raila, it will not send Ruto home very early in the morning, if at all he has to be defeated at the parrot. Let me know your comments and your opinion about that particular ticket alignment, whether that ticket can actually take Ruto home in 2027. Tell me why it will not take him home, or tell me if you believe that such a ticket is going to take Ruto home in 2027. Otherwise, stay tuned, and tomorrow I'm coming back with a very interesting video. See you next time and keep subscribing.